there.
Islam. Islam, Moors. Islam. I'm a little bit sick.
Islam.
Islam.
So you can see that even though the Sheikh, he go into a lot of like the indigenous history and connecting with modern times, he wouldn't go into the records, the biblical records. He could also do that. That show the versatility that we all have, you know. And he's kind of going to another degree, a little bit higher degree, because according to the scripture, the Most High does has a name, which is I am that I am, which is, Yuhe Wahe. But when you go beyond that degree, you can't really name the Most High. So he's taking it like a little degree further. But you got to understand the degree, according to the biblical records, that he did have a name, but that name has not been, the pronunciation of that name has been lost. So even though we may say Yahweh or Yahweh, that actually might not be the correct pronunciation of the name, because that name is supposed to have power in it. So that's why when you read the scriptures, most of the time it says Yah. And when I was building with the Hebrew brother, they said we refer to the term, we call the creator Yah, because that's what David called him in the scriptures. You'll find that term Yah there. But the actual pronunciation of the name, nobody really knows. And when you go to Freemasonry, and you go into what they call the Royal Arch degree, what they call the Red House, they give you that name, but they say Yah, they say Jehovah as one of the names for you to go into the Royal House as a password, which is the lost word, because in Masonry, when you go through the 3 degrees, you get a temporary name, which is called Mahabon, which is marrow to the bone. So when King Solomon raised up Hiram out of the shallow grave with the lion's paw grip, and when they attempt to pull you up, they don't pull you up the first couple of times because your skin is coming off the bone, because you're dead. But when the lion's paw grip grab you, when you're in the north corner in the shallow grave, you're pulled up by King Solomon. And then you're given a temporary word, which is Mahabon, which is marrow to the bone. And when you go to the Royal Arch degree, then you're given a real word, which is Jehovah. You gotta know your degrees. See, we know their degrees, but they don't know. We have degrees too that they don't know. And some of y'all don't know because y'all choose not to want to know if y'all want to stay at the exoteric aspect of moral science. And those who desire to get into the esoteric aspect will learn our degrees that we have. Because if you're saying that you're the father of the Masons, how you don't know their science? You wear an offensive catastrophe, but you can't break down their particular degrees, which is only baby degrees. When you come into a lodge, how you walk into a lodge? What do you do? What do you say? If you their father, why you don't know these things? You know what I'm saying? The Eastern Star symbol, which is a 5-pointed star facing downwards, which each point represent. Who's the matron names that those points represent? Gotta know the signs. See, when we came up, our teachers knew those degrees and we was taught those degrees. Islam?
Islam.
So, we was dealing last week about Allah not being God. And that might seem kind of strange to people, but is Allah God?
No.
And why is Allah not God? Yeah, you gotta give your honors, you gotta explain it. We ain't gonna let this just go like that more like.
He gave his honors again.
First, I rather give all praise to Allah and all the divine prophets gave his day. Here we say Allah is Allah because Allah doesn't have an equal. If you say Allah is God, then God has to have a goddess. So we say Allah is Allah, all knowing.
Yo, give me something different. Give me more, because you got a good memory. of what I said. What did you learn? Did you do any research about this even further or no?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay. Because you quoted me verbatimly. Anybody got any more? anybody got any more answers or want to attempt to expound on it? Nobody else? Natalie, you want to say something?
Just to add on a little bit, my understanding is Allah is not God because Allah is the all, Allah is our creator. If you're a God, as brother said, you have to have a goddess or equal. God, there are many gods. There's only one Allah. So.
See, this is good because this is a controversial type of topic. Because if you go amongst other, Islamic groups and you say that, they're not gonna really understand what we're coming at when we saying Allah's not actually God. Because what you just said, a God is something that has partners, when Allah doesn't have a partner.
Islam? Is it because from notes that I took last week, or is it because it says that God can be a noun, which is any living thing, and then if we say that Allah is any living thing, that's like limiting him to like human form or something like that?
Yeah, Islam. Islam. Yep. And for y'all, y'all just look up the word to make sure what I'm saying is actually correct. If that's the real definition. But, the prophet you determine God for us to just to be familiar with what you go into your own research. So we as Moors, we need to try to stop using that word and start using the proper term Allah. As we grow in our own development. So when the Greeks came into contact with our ancestors, they called them gods, theos, meaning worship. These ancient Elohims were the fathers of mathematics, astrology, the pyramids building, and later on in Greek culture, there were altered the legends and made them into worship. So our ancestors, because we were so great in the things that we did, that we begin to be worshipped amongst the Europeans as living gods. We begin to be worshipped. And that's why in ancient Greek civilization, they always depicted their gods as always having dark skin and woolly hair. Hold on 1 second.
And then even as you were saying, he mentioned Elohim. Elohim is plural for God. There's only one creator. So whenever you say Elohim, you're saying gods with a S.
Exactly. It's meaning more than one is powers. So we were actually the physical manifestation of the Elohim on earth.
Islam.
We were, when you deal with Elohim, now you're dealing with plural. So that's when you're dealing with gods and goddesses.
Islam.
So we are the Elohim. We are the gods and goddesses. But we are not Allah, the one. But we are gods and goddesses. We are the Elohim. And when we came in contact with other civilizations, they worshipped us as gods. And it's all throughout the ancient writings as us being gods. The prophet Moses is clearly telling the children of Israel is forbidden to make images or statues of any part of nature, animals or mortals, and say they are Allah. So we give me Psalms 8 verse 9. We don't make any images of Allah and worship these images. We are able to have pictures of our ancestors and give them honors. But we're not gonna make these pictures our deity, our gods. We're not gonna make them Allah.
No.
Huh?
Jesus pieces?
Well, you know, we're not gonna wear that because it's Christianity. But if you want to say if you was a Rasta, you into Haile Selassie, you wanna wear Haile Selassie pin, or we wear Prophet Noble Drew Ali. There's nothing wrong with that. When you start making that into your God, then that's an issue. You know what I'm saying?